Welcome to the world of Kenny Candlesticks. Watch as a green joker opens a magical book, and charts and patterns explode into view. Prepare for insights and strategies. Your trading journey starts here. Get ready for the show with Kenny. Subscribe and turn on the notifications.
Hello everybody, I hope you're having a wonderful morning, and today I'd like to go over the XRP price chart. So from where we last left off, we've been definitely getting a lot of selling pressure. Today I'm going to go over the order books of XRP so we can actually visually see what's going on, and I'm going to talk a little bit about price action and momentum and how it's possible we can get a momentum flip soon. On the 15-minute, down here, we're looking like we might need a little pullback here before any decisive move. But we're still in this downside area, haven't broken the low of the liquidation wick yet. The fact that we came so close down here does make me a little bit nervous, and my tell would be a daily close below 2.7283. You can see how price respected this level, wicked into it. Then we got that's a diving board move. And then you got your move back up here. So we got a diving board on the end, which is actually a really solid bullish pattern. But we're going to see how it plays out because these lows now down here are extremely close together. But in this video, I'm going to show you why it's possible, at least with the overall market, that we do get a potential move up here and momentum starts to shift up, and at least we can get back up into this consolidation. We got a little breakout here, looked like we might have been bouncing on top, but just right back into the sideways consolidation range, into the chop. It's a great place for liquidity providers to have safety on both sides, and they can just hang out here as long as they want and accumulate orders and square away their books. So we talked about 2.7, that was the level. We can see it on the order books. 2.7 was a huge level. Every time it comes down here, even from the past, every time we come down to 2.7, we get a rejection off this level, Now, we've touched it about 3 times, so this is kind of the make or break moment. Really, I was looking to see if we would get a daily close below 2.783, 2.7283. We were looking to see if we were going to get a daily close. That would definitely imply bearishness. But luckily, these are definitely trying times, you guys. But luckily here, we still have not gotten a daily close below that level. So, we're going to see, we are very close down here. These lows are quite even. So it is possible we could get a liquidation wick down. But I'm gonna say that it's also possible that this is the low. That's part of the indecision that the market reflects here in this consolidation. But on a practical level, I'll take you guys down to a lower time frame and we can kind of see what happened. So on a smaller time frame for XRP, we got this big liquidation wick back here. Boom! Then we came up. I told you guys we're throwing off a TVP here. It's an area of large interest, from here. We respected this level. Boom! Filled out price action. Boom! Filled out price action. There really wasn't any indication that we would have to come much lower than this area here once this TVP formed, this flat bottom candle. We look at the flat bottoms because that's where there's an inefficiency, and it's almost like a scar in the order books of the liquidity providers where they need to balance their books so that they're not off sides when a move does finally occur. So you saw this level act, flat bottom, come down here, and this is where it gets interesting. So you came down here, this was definitely a scary move, overnight flush. Came here, you see these 2 large candles that are pretty much full body and have a very similar lower end. We're getting a couple of these. So you saw one here, full body, very close. full body, very close. And these are also imbalances. So these areas got taken. This one right here at the low, this got taken. And then more recently, what do we have? This one down here. So recently we had that one down here. That area got taken, and we filled out clean price action. So nice bottom wicks. Price action looks good down here. You know, so nice clean wicks, and you got your classic diving board pattern. So if you were to look at the diving board, you get a bunch of flat lows here, come down for a double bottom right out the bottom, and then boom, you get your reversal. It's a high probability pattern, which is a good thing. Now we are getting a little bit of turn on the momentum here. It is coming up slightly bullish on the larger time frames, but on the short time frame right now, on the 15-minute, it is possible that we get a little bit of move down here to clean up these areas. As you can see, these areas down here are fairly clean. Yeah, we did leave one potentially right here with this super recent move. You can see that the low and the open are the same, 2.7754. So we know what that means. That would be a TVP. Now, the times when price does not come down to this area and just blast straight through it is when we are having a real breakout. So some of these areas on the 15-minute chart will get left if we're having a real breakout here. So we're going to watch for that, and those become legacy imbalances in the order book for liquidity providers, and they have to square their books away higher up. So sometimes these areas do get left. It's extremely rare. Most of these areas get filled fairly quickly. You can see this one down here. If you saw this one here, you'd assume that's an ugly, ugly candle. These two together, high probability price will come back. So you got the double bottom. Your neckline now is going to be about right here. So that's going to be about your neckline, and what do you know? It also lines up with the TVP for today. If we were to come a little lower here, I'm going to be concerned for another flush, but these two lows here, that's pretty much, that's the new low. So if we finally get our move away from here, which I think it's possible, I'll show you guys Bitcoin dominance, but if we finally get our move away from here, some TVPs may be left, and you may look back and say, hey, these flat bottom candles never got filled. So it does happen. It's not 100%, you know, but usually if they do, it's on a large breakout move. So XRP, that's where we're at. Definitely trying times. I hope you guys all stick in there. But, you know, if you made it this far, then chances are you got your orders in lower, or maybe you're just on spot, which is great. So let me go here. I'm actually going to switch it up a little bit today. Actually, no. Let me cover the XRP BTC because I cover this chart a lot. Let's go out to the 4-hour, maybe would be good. Yeah, so see that nice clean wick on the bottom there? So what I wanted to point out here is that you got your long consolidation, just like the one we looked at in the last video. If you didn't see the last video, go ahead and check it out, because it may provide a little relief in showing how these types of consolidation patterns can break down. They can break down with wicks such as these down here. So they can break down with wicks, and they can still rebound later. So in my last video, I showed how there's plenty of XRP examples where you do break down here after this type of consolidation, and then you end up getting your move up. So we're going to see price action is mainly trading still inside this funnel. The low here is 2496. So if you do too much time trading below that, I'm going to be concerned, but it looks like Bitcoin dominance is finally turning around here. We're going to show you the order books real quick just so you can take a look and see. I took this screenshot just before I started the video here. Talking a little faster today. I'm really trying to just pack everything in for you guys in a shorter time frame. This order book right here, you could see that 2.7, it was a huge level. We do not want that level to break. There's less orders here now. If you remember in the past, there's about 700,000, and now it thinned out to 309. So if they truly are defending 2.7, that's going to be the hard floor, and that's what I'm hoping for. Is that's the hard floor. You know, I'm sure we all are. but they did put a new wall in place. So this could also just be for visual effects. You know, they know price will never trade down here because they stopped price at 2.7. They were not letting it go lower, but they did structure a new wall at 2.5. So if we get a breakdown, you know where we're going. But our real area up here, we have a nice clean void here between 2.85 and 2.9. So price can just go ahead, slice up in between these levels in this dark area. Not a lot of orders. It can act as a vacuum, and price can just get sucked up to 2.95. So that will be the next place. We have 802,000 XRP sitting on the book for spot, which is a great indicator. You know, leverage can be a little more wish-wash, but that's where we are in the order books. You know, it's fairly balanced still. They put a new level at 2.5, so just watch out for that, guys. If we come down, we know where we're going. But as long as 2.7 holds as a level, I'm fairly confident that this potentially could be a low. And I'm going to show on XLM. I'm going to show on XLM, which is similar. The same liquidity providers, they do liquidity for all different assets at the same time. So, you know, they have their hands. It's a coordinated effort. But let's take a look here. XLM. I think I'll go ahead and go on the 1 day. And this will be the last example for today, but here's a really good one. So XLM is a great example. You know, technically it does track XRP price to some degree. They're intertwined at the hip for the most part, but they do move a little separately. But you got your grind down period here, and then you got your return move, come down, and you got your long wick here, long wick on the bottom. And then you got this ugly looking full body candle situation going on here. Usually these aren't great, but you did get wicks at the bottom of these two, so that makes it okay. This was also a macro breakout, so these areas can get left. So what'd you get here? Very, very similar pattern. I mean, unless we're coming down lower around here, I expect this area to hold. You get this long downward consolidation with a move up here, top, move up here, top, come down, long wick, come down, long wick. Then what happens after that? You get your full body candle, so it comes down, long wick, full body, long wick, full body. And is this where we get a move away? We're going to go to Bitcoin dominance, and we're just going to take a look because that's the most exciting chart right now. We can actually come back to this chart now and take a look at it. As you can see, as far as momentum goes, Bitcoin dominance just started turning down, you guys. So most rallies here in Bitcoin dominance recently have been faded, but the thing is that this price action will continue to pick up speed, and we did get a little bit of a pullback here around July 26th. We got a pullback, and then now we got another pullback around 19th of September, and it looks like that may be coming to an end. So your momentum candles are flipping here, and it's potentially, if we get a nice close at the end of the day on at least Bitcoin dominance, we can expect possibly a further fall. So you see when we came up here, got this, that's the top, then momentum changes. It's not 100%, but we have a window where this can actually come down. You can get a big sell-off on the daily, and that would be your real move. Let's take a look a little bit further and say, okay, well, what would that look like if we got our real move? It would be this candle right here. Let me go actually to the month. You actually got to go to the month. You got to go to the month to check this thing out. So let's see, go on the 1 month. What would that look like on the monthly time frame? That's where we're at. This would be the 2021 bull run, and you got your moves here. This candle, boom, that was the one that you wanted. So where are you right here? You're sitting right here, potentially, if this candle turns around, you got a nice top wick on here. If this candle turns red again, it doesn't look great on the monthly momentum, but that can change. We still have a few more days here, but if we do get a move down, we can start this larger leg down, and I think that's what we're all waiting for. So, hang in there, guys. I know it's tough. We are getting extremely close to the lows of 2.7, so hold on to your hats if that level breaks. But as for now, potentially, like I showed with XLM and the broader markets, we're getting a return on indices, the Russell. Bitcoin dominance is breaking down, not on the monthly necessarily, but on the 1 day, it's looking real promising. So can we at least get a spell, maybe a little return? Bitcoin can maybe chop lower, Bitcoin dominance falls, and we at least come back into a neutral zone for alts. So that's what I'm looking for, and I hope everyone has a great day, and thank you.